Whispers of Fernandez creep, Lansing goes fast complete. Dirty noise loud and clear, big God conquers fear. Feels like the end is near, racing the sheds another tear. Time is right, lift the global trophy high. Underneath the ring of lights, feel formations unify. World united till we die.
And welcome everyone to what is technically the second episode, but is in fact the first competition of our 9 here at the 2025 Global Trophy. Yes, for the next 9 weeks, every Saturday until already messed that up. We're professional. February the 1st of 2025.
Maybe you're the fool after all, Chris, you know.
Indeed I am. Well, I don't know why I'm talking about April 1st for. I think it's just April Fool's Day has completely knocked me off a burden for some reason. But yes, until February the 1st, every Saturday, you'll be getting one video of this series going through our preliminary leagues, our qualifiers, and on February the 1st, our Global Trophy Championship Final. We will whittle down our 160 teams, and immediately we're going to get rid of 8 of them. It is time for our first stop on the journey to the Global Trophy Finals. It is the European Qualifiers Preliminary League. I am Masterath, and I'm joined alongside
Sven-Göran 64, and yes, of course, these are the kind of initial kind of findings of the Global Trophy. You know, each team in this preliminary league didn't qualify last year, nor is their FIFA ranking high enough to get automatic qualification. These guys have to fight their way in, and sometimes those teams do quite well. I mean, if you remember back a couple of years ago in the African Preliminary League qualifiers, Comoros, of course, had a perfect run. They won the Preliminary League, and then they went on to win the African section as well, which is, I think that is the first. No other team has done that so far. I mean, granted, the Preliminary League's only been going for a few years. And then, you know, teams like the Czech Republic in recent years, who have obviously won the Global Trophy proper, have also had to pre-qualify in the last couple of years. So, you know, it is possible to be a pre-qualifier and be a significant team in the competition.
Certainly is, but when it comes to the European qualifiers, it's certainly the toughest of the qualifiers. I mean, we do this via FIFA rankings when it comes to ranking the teams for participation in the tournaments. That's 40 teams per continent. Do you want to know what the lowest FIFA rank is for each of the four continents?
Okay, so I'm guessing it's going to be in the 60s maybe for Europe.
Well, our dud team for the preliminary league is 97.
Oh wow, okay, that's lower than I thought.
The team that is the lowest FIFA ranked that automatically qualified for Europe is 47.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's so high.
If you look at it this way, for Asia it's 116. For Africa it's 105, and for the Americas it's 107.
So they automatically qualified for the knockouts. They did have to pre-qualify.
Yeah, and that's the lowest ranked out of all of them.
And all the European teams fall in that bracket in the preliminary league. So it kind of gives you the idea of how competitive the European league is.
Certainly is. But yes, we do have our 16 teams here. They'll play a round-robin league. They'll play each other once. That's 15 altogether. And the top 8 of the league qualify for the European qualifiers. But you do not want to come 8th.
No, if you are 8th, you are then classified as a player team for the main competition, the European section as it will be then, in this case, and which means you are the dud team. You cannot win. You get a 0-3 forfeit loss, and that means you are out of the competition. So 8th and above does technically qualify, but really it's 7th and above. You get to actually play to compete.
Certainly, and that's mostly because in this game you can't run a tournament, or might as well say the game that we're playing at the moment. It's the Sven-Göran Eriksson World Challenge or Manager. It's one of the two. Challenge, I think it is. Because they did another one which was a manager game, and they released 2 Sven-Göran Eriksson games in the same year. I wonder who got the England job that year. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so unfortunately you have to have a player team in there, and instead of us just going through it trying to play as this certain team. Obviously, that wouldn't be very fun, would it? So instead, yeah, we essentially have a dud team. So in like qualifiers and the finals, think of it as a bye win, pretty much.
Yep.
And when it comes to the preliminary league, it's pretty much evened out. All teams will play the dud team once and everyone else once. So it evens out in the end. Everyone gets an extra 3 points and an extra 3 goals to their tally. So
there you go. Easy enough to kind of get your head around. It's a simple league format. Every team plays each other once. The top 7 go through. The 8th team is the dud team, and everyone else go home at this stage.
Certainly is. And for this 16-team league, our dud team, they're here again. It's Armenia, our dud team again.
Yeah, it's a shame. Armenia in real life haven't really... they didn't qualify for the Euros, which obviously is always kind of a denotion of the quality of the team. But, Armenia, they've not got that many players these days. I mean, obviously they had Henrik Mkhitaryan a few years ago, but I think he's kind of just... I don't know if he's retired yet. I'm going to Google it whilst you're putting in more teams. I don't think he's finished playing yet. I'll have to double check.
That's not a problem. But yeah, there's 13 FIFA ranks between Armenia and the next highest. Or the next lowest team, which is Luxembourg.
Yeah, Luxembourg have kind of climbed up through the rankings in recent years. Just to go back to what I was saying earlier, Henrik Mkhitaryan is still playing. He's still playing for Inter Milan.
Ah, fair enough. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luxembourg have actually done quite decently, I think, in real life football. I think they've actually done quite decently. They're not far off the next highest ranked team, to be fair. They're not far off at all.
I don't know if this is kind of the case with a lot of the teams around the world currently, but players who don't initially get into their kind of initial chosen nation that they want to play for do always have kind of... They probably get to like 27, 28, and they kind of think, oh, I'll play for this other team, which I'm eligible for. And I wonder if Luxembourg have been a beneficiary of that. I don't really know. I haven't really looked into it that much, but I know that they've kind of jumped up through the rankings and have done quite well in the pre-qualifiers for the UEFA Euros this year as well.
I know that certainly is the case with some players. Like, for example, obviously we all know who Paul Pogba is.
Yes.
But his brother, Matthias Pogba, former crewman, by the way, he's also eligible to play for France, but he decided to play for Guinea instead.
Yep.
So
I think
Wilfried Zaha.
Wilfried Zaha as well. Wilfried Zaha played... I think he played games for England, didn't he? But now he's declared for the Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so next up from Luxembourg. But yeah, Luxembourg, not a good team in this in this game, so they'll probably finish last. I think they didn't they do that last year? They finished 15th.
I can't remember. I've slept since then, Chris. Come on now.
Fair enough. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, funny thing, I was just looking at sort of like our previous sort of like call stats, just see how long is this going to take to do all the tournaments, and I noticed the date of when we did the tournament last year, and it was also at the start of August.
That's so good.
Convenient that. Anyway, Next up it is former third place in the global trophy, Bulgaria. Jeez, they had a bad run last time round in the preliminaries, didn't they?
I think they did qualify, didn't they, or did they not?
They did qualify, but they didn't qualify as well as we were expecting them to be like.
No,
top
that's
2.
right. Yeah, they kind of finished like 4th or 5th, if I remember correctly. They kind of just scraped through.
I think it was 5th, because remember it was that absolutely nuts last round.
Yeah, and Republic of Ireland won, didn't they? At the death. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, Bulgaria, a bit of a fall from grace from them. As Chris kind of said, they kind of have been an established team in the Global Trophy finals in the past, and nowadays their national team isn't quite as strong as it used to be, and they're in the pre-qualifying kind of battle royale to get into the main European section, and even then, you play one of the big teams and you're back down here again. It's a bit of a vicious cycle.
Certainly is. And if you look at it this way, so this game is 23 years old, I believe. So what would the players Bulgaria would have had? They would have had Berbatov at that point, wouldn't they?
Berbatov might have been a bit later, actually. I don't know. Maybe because I think Stilian Petrov was a bit later as well. I think Martin Petrov was a bit later as well. I don't know. I'm not sure at this point in history. I'm not exactly sure. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so next up it is Israel.
Oh.
Should we just go to the bottlers?
Yeah, I mean, controversial country, Israel. Let's say that much.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll probably do the same for Palestine. Don't worry, when we get to them eventually.
Yep. Hashtag Free Palestine. That's all I'll say.
Hashtag free the global trophy.
Yep, there you go.
Next up, it is... Please, come on!
Yeah,
surely,
Bosnia,
surely.
Bosnia-Herzegovina every year starts so strongly in this kind of pre-qualifier section and then just drop like a rock. And they'll be hoping that doesn't happen this year.
It is known as the Bosnia bottle. You coined it last year. It's the Bosnia bottle.
Let's hope it doesn't happen this time, eh?
You never know. Next up, they did barely make it through to the Global Trophy European qualifiers last time round. I think they even made it to the round of 16, I think. Certainly not further. Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, a plucky underdog, it has to be said, in the European section of times gone by, and they have qualified from this preliminary league on numerous occasions.
Yep, and obviously for people that who didn't see the European preliminary league last year, go watch it. I think that and the Americas preliminary league from 2023 are probably the two best preliminary leagues we've ever done. Yeah,
I agree. They were very, very entertaining. Lots of constantly changing results. You didn't really know which way it was going to go. It was pure box office.
Certainly is. I think there was like 3 results that is like, oh, this team qualifies if they win, and they all lost.
Yeah, it was crazy. They all just were desperate not to qualify.
Yeah, and then Iceland's amazing 9 points in 3 wins in 3 games, and they still didn't make it.
I know. Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So next up, we have Montenegro. Now, we have to mention this. So, so there are 3 teams in this tournament out of this 160 that don't actually exist in this game. They're either part of certain other areas, or they're sort of part of other areas and they're split, or they just simply weren't a FIFA. They weren't a FIFA nation at that point.
Correct. Obviously, this game is, as Chris said, 23 years old. So countries like, for example, South Sudan didn't exist back then. And other countries did exist back then, like Yugoslavia, which we'll get to in the European section, which is a different name these days.
What a boomer game. It's still got Yugoslavia. Look at that.
I know, crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, obviously, Montenegro, these days, kind of synonymous with players like, Stevan Jovetic and, Stevan Savic, didn't exist. The country didn't exist back then.
Yep, it would have been part of Yugoslavia, but we essentially ruled back when we started putting Montenegro into the qualifiers that since they are a lower ranked team than Serbia, so obviously they used to be called Serbia and Montenegro as a full country before the split, we've decided to give the Yugoslavia slot to Serbia, which is why they're known as that, which means Montenegro, we can't give them Yugoslavia as well, because if they qualify, and then the European qualifiers happen, and we have Yugoslavia versus Yugoslavia, that can't happen, the game won't allow it. Someone please mod this game for us. But until then, essentially what we do is we give them the lowest ranked, or essentially the FIFA ranked team that is lower than them, that is not a part of the Global Trophy. As their sort of patsy, I guess. Their substitute.
Yep.
And in this case, well, they got the same as they got last time. It's Belarus again.
Oh, dear. Belarus is another controversial country, isn't it, really?
Certainly is. What, Russia Junior? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, crazy.
Next up, formerly known as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. God, that's bloody...
Friar, as I used to think it used to be called, but it's not that. It's
Friar Macedonia. Let me just cook some Macedonian soil. Yep. Goes great on chips. But no, now they're known as North Macedonia.
Yep, because of the Macedonia region of Greece. So Macedonia, or North Macedonia as it's now known, competing under their own old name.
Okay, and next up, are they going to get some better luck this time round? It's Iceland.
Yes, Iceland, of course, started so slowly and finished so strongly in the preliminary qualifiers last time, but missed out. But I always think that the Global Trophy is a better place with Iceland in it. And of course, they beat England, didn't they, before Euro 2024?
Yeah, they beat England twice in the last decade.
Crazy, isn't it?
Certainly is. Next up, it's our favourites, I think, in this preliminary. It's Georgia.
Yeah, they don't tend to do that well, though, do they? Georgia. But they did really well at Euro 2024. They beat Portugal, of course. They qualified for the round of 16.
I laughed at them beating Portugal.
I mean, they were great though. They were like really aggressive. They went forward. They attacked teams. You know, as you know, Kvaratskhelia. That's a butcher the pronunciation, but I've given it a go. Was superb, and their goalkeeper as well, Mamardishvili, is excellent. So,
do you remember a couple of years ago when you got Kvaratskhelia name and you sent it over to me and you asked me to pronounce it? Look at him! Look at him now!
I know he's a household name these days, isn't he?
Look at him now!
I'm proud of myself for identifying the talent that he was though back then, because he's obviously got onto amazing things.
Have you ever thought of being a scout for Aston Villa?
I'd love to be a scout for Aston Villa, but I don't think I'd get that kind of job these days. We're too high profile for that.
Just say you discovered Georgia's best striker. I'm sure they'll try and take. Actually, no. To be fair, no. Villa scouting department is bloody good, isn't it?
Yeah, these days it's pretty
Let's
good.
be honest.
You know, I'm nervous for the. Well, obviously we're recording this before the season's actually started, but
my season starts tomorrow.
It does indeed.
We got Barrow. We got Big Barrow.
We've got West Ham next week. I'm a bit nervous about that, but anyway.
Could certainly be
off topic.
Could certainly be interesting on that. Next up, we have. I don't know why I'm looking at the Asian section. I was about to put in Yemen. Let's go for. Yeah. So after Georgia, we have Albania.
Yeah, Albania also did qualify for the Euros, I believe, and they did okay, but they weren't like. I think they had a tough group, if memory serves. I don't remember.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they still did quite decently, though, I think.
But the fact that they qualified is pretty cool, so good for them.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, coming from Georgia, Georgia's a round of 16 in the European qualifiers last year as well, because they got past their first round and they lost to Spain.
Did they?
Who beat England?
Did Georgia qualify last year?
Yeah. Remember, there was that whole bit where they just needed one win and they were through. They made it. They knocked out their opponent in the round of 32, and they were going to face either England or Spain. Obviously, Spain knocked England out.
Of course.
And then Spain beat Georgia. But Georgia round of 16 last time round in the qualifiers. So yeah, good result for them.
Not a bad little run from Georgia.
Yep. Next up, it is Finland.
They're not finished, contrary to common belief. They are back, and they didn't qualify for Euro 2024, and they'll be wanting to put that right in this competition.
Certainly will when it comes to that. Next up, the winners of the preliminary league last year for Europe, the Republic of Ireland, are back.
Yep, and they'll be hoping to retain that title, but they know it won't be an easy task.
Certainly won't. Not with this team in there. It's Greece.
Yeah, Greece, of course. A couple of years ago, if we remember back, the Masterath era, I believe it was, that kind of...
There was
a duplicate team, wasn't there? And they got a second chance at life because they finished 8th and didn't have to be the dud team after all, because there was a mistaken duplicate entry, and then Greece went on to qualify from the European section. It was amazing.
And then did they... Oh, no, wait, no, I'm getting my teams mixed up. That was Hungary, wasn't it? That became the semi-final. Yeah,
correct.
Greece. Well, they got another shot here, so good on them. Next up, Slovenia.
Yeah, Slovenia, again, another team that played England, weren't they?
We played both of them. We played both Slovene and Slovak. Didn't do well against either, to be fair.
No, and Slovenia, well, they've got a great forward who obviously gained a bit of notoriety in the Euros, Benjamin Šeško. Yeah, he's superb, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really good player.
Yeah. And last but not least, FIFA rank number 50. This would have been Scotland's spot, but they
qualify for the Euros.
They automatically qualify because they qualified out of the European qualifiers last year, so it's not their spot. It's not Slovakia's spot either, because they were in it last time round.
Go on, then.
And they're through. It's Norway.
Wow. So how the mighty have fallen. Norway, of course, a former semi-finalist of the Global Trophy in the past, former European winners in the past as well. I believe, because Czech Republic didn't have to pre-qualify when they won the European section. Oh no, they had to pre-qualify since. So this is the second time in history that a pre-qualifying team has had to a former winner of the European section has had to pre-qualify.
Yeah, and do you know, and speaking of Czech Republic, they were next on the list.
Wow, so they almost had to pre-qualify. That's nuts. For a global trophy champion to pre-qualify is crazy, isn't it?
three ranks higher than Norway. They're ranked 47.
Wow.
Norway is 50.
Oh, didn't Romania have to pre-qualify a few years ago? I can't remember. Maybe they did.
Romania are above Czech Republic barely. They're 45.
Oh, okay. So they may have had to pre-qualify since it's been on YouTube. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think they may have done.
They probably have, yeah. All right.
Well, here we go then. This is the beginning of the global trophy.
Well, we kick off with a dud win for Albania, so they're going to enjoy that.
Absolute one for the purists. Brilliant. Love that. Who's the first ref of the year?
Oh, please tell me it's Vinny. It's not going to be Vinny, is it? It's going to be bloody... It's going to be the
RJ,
prick.
isn't it?
It's going to be the prick or RJ. Go on, Len.
It's RJ! Yes!
Of course it is!
Is that a sign of things to come, I wonder?
Of course it is!
RJ Fernandez, the first ref of the year. The Faroe Islands conspirator.
What did you call him last year? A cockwomble.
He is a cockwomble, mate.
Oh no, wait, I didn't hear the first C. Did I for that one? So he was an ockwomble instead.
The sockwomble, yeah.
He is so notorious. He's in the lyrics for the intro.
Well, it's because he's an icon, obviously.
Yeah. Then again, so was Len Zingaro, and he wasn't an icon until last year, so there was that. But that was because me and Sam were having laughing fits for about 3 minutes because of him.
Because his name.
Yeah. just the fact that we just made him a Spanish fat Nabsi Resbit. Yeah, Rabsi Nesbit. I haven't had a pint yet, honest.
Right. Our first proper game of the Global Trophy 2025 is Belarus versus Bosnia-Herzegovina. Belarus, of course, representing Montenegro.
Can Bosnia get off to a great start? No, they can't.
No.
3-0 to Belarus.
The rot has started early for Bosnia. Well, we'll have to see if they can recover.
I don't think they fixed the rot from last year. I think just maybe.
Yeah, a bit of wood rot setting in.
Certainly. Finland. They're next taking on Bulgaria.
I would say Bulgaria are the favourites here.
Certainly expect so on that. There is a win. It's a shaky win, but it's still a win nonetheless. 1-0 Bulgaria.
The way fixtures never easy to start off with, and Bulgaria get the first points on the board.
Certainly do. Georgia, Iceland next. Now this is a clash that you'd expect for that 7th and 8th spot, really, wouldn't you, between these two?
Yeah, they're two mid-table teams, and they're kind of both gunning for qualification, so it'll be important to note the result here.
Certainly did. Last year, Georgia got the qualification. Iceland missed out. Well,
they've come back with a point to prove Iceland. They are back in winning ways and have gone into 3rd place with a 2-1 win over Georgia.
Next up, a FIFA ranking bottom of the table clash. It's Israel versus Luxembourg.
Yep, let's see if Luxembourg can withstand the pressure of Israel, or whether Israel will be able to cause some damage to Luxembourg.
Only 1-0 win, but Israel do kick off their campaign with a victory.
Well, Israel shot their shot there and they've made it through. So on 3 points, Macedonia, or North Macedonia, taking on their other northern named opponents in Northern Ireland.
The North versus the North. Of course, it's a draw.
Yep, standard, really.
First draw of the tournament, though.
Yep, there you go. Northern Ireland and North Macedonia, both with 1 point. I think they'll both probably be happy with that.
Yeah, I'd say so. They're sort of middle of the pack as well when it comes to teams, so I think they'll be fine not losing any ground on each other. Next up, it is the Republic of Ireland, and they'll be taking on Greece. I'd say this is a top-of-the-table clash here.
Absolutely. These two will both be gunning for the title in this preliminary league.
Certainly will. It's another draw, 2-2. So the moment Montenegro lead.
Yeah, I think both teams will be happy with that as well. Republic of Ireland and Greece both not losing points to the other.
And to both get two goals each, I think, as well. That'll help if it does go to... And it has done before. It has gone to goals for. Remember last year's America's preliminary league?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just so close.
So, Norway, back into the European preliminaries. How are they going to fare? They got Slovenia, who are, quite good as well. So, again, this is going to be interesting.
I think it's crazy that Norway, with a team with players like Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard and Oscar Bob, are in the preliminary league.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's how nuts the European preliminaries are. That's how the European FIFA rankings are. You know, they're crazy. There are 24 teams that are higher ranked than Norway.
Yeah, the standards are very high, aren't they?
1-0 Norway. They get the win, but Belarus, Albania are tied at the top.
They are indeed both with 3-0 wins, although Albania's 3-0 win came against the dud team. Their first true test will come against Montenegro or Belarus.
Yeah, they take on each other at the top of the table. 3-0 win for Montenegro. They're looking good so far.
Yep, 2 3-0 wins back-to-back. Next up is a Bosnia-Herzegovina. Mark off they go. Oh, so off the mark they're going to go, sorry, as they take on the dud team Armenia.
Certainly will. So they'll get 3 points. So good for them.
Yep.
Who is our referee here? Oh, it's Jack Daniels. He's our ref now. Good for Jackie.
I'm back in a second.
All right. It's going to be solo commentary for a little bit. Everyone can see how crap it's going to be. How crap it would be. That's why I wouldn't do the Global Trophy if it was just me. And with that, a 3-0 win for Bosnia there, so they're certainly going to be needing that. Well, everyone's going to be needing that, but they're going to be needing it a lot more because the bottle has happened twice, maybe 3 times in the last 3 years.
So I just got interrupted by my dog.
Again?
Yeah, I know.
Comes in every single Global Trophy. It's always good for that appearance.
Absolutely, she's made another appearance. She's having a bit of a grump at the door, I think. So she's happy now.
Fair enough. All right, so Bulgaria, Georgia, our next match.
Yep. Obviously, Bosnia Herzegovina get the 3-0 bye win. Bulgaria and Georgia. Bulgaria with the winner in their first game. Georgia, of course, losing their first game to Iceland.
Yep, Bulgaria underperformed last preliminary league, while I'd say Georgia overperformed. 4-0 Bulgaria. It's not a good start for Georgia.
No wins for 2 at the moment. No points on the board. They probably will have to start motoring up through the gears if they want to qualify this time.
Certainly will. Finland, Iceland next up.
An all Scandi clash, although I suppose technically Finland aren't really part of Scandinavia, are they?
Yeah, Finland aren't Scandi.
They've got a similar flag though.
Yeah, that's what I'm there going. Why? Okay, if you're not part of Scandinavia, why got a similar flag for? Why?
Who knows?
Who puts a cross to the left? Apart from Finland, Denmark,
Sweden,
and Norway, and Sweden, Faroe Islands for some reason,
and the Faroe Islands and Greenland, I think, as well.
Do they?
It's part of Denmark, isn't it? So I think they've got a similar flag.
Haven't they got like the Poland thing, but it's a circle? Oh no, the circle is to the left. Okay, that makes sense. If I'm thinking of the right flag, and
oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, you're right.
Oh, thank God for that. I thought I got a flag wrong. I thought that'd be my retirement if I get that wrong. Right. Win for Finland, 2-1. Iceland was off to a good start, but now Finland, they've got some points now.
Yeah, they lost their first game, but they have recovered well. They've got 3 points on the board. They move up into 8th place, which is where they don't want to finish there, but they'll be happy there for now.
Certainly will. Macedonia now will take on Israel.
Yep, Macedonia, of course, didn't get a win in their first game. They drew with Northern Ireland. Israel, of course, winning their first game by 1-0.
Yep, only 1-0 for Israel there. Oh, wow. Macedonia with the win, and Israel drop all the way down to 9th. They essentially swapped places there.
They did, because of the goals scored and goals against, puts Israel further down because they've only scored 1 goal, so that puts them right down to 9th.
Yep, Northern Ireland currently in 12th place will take on Luxembourg, currently in 13th place.
Northern Ireland, of course, got a point in their first game. Luxembourg lost their first game.
Win for Northern Ireland. That's a good win for them. They move up to 4th place.
They do indeed, into qualification territory for them. And Republic of Ireland take on Slovenia in the penultimate game of Game Week 2.
Yeah, Republic of Ireland, who drew their first match, remember? Slovenia, who lost theirs. Yeah, that was to be expected. Republic of Ireland moved to 3rd.
Yeah, Republic of Ireland, great result for them. That puts them into 3rd place for now. Norway and Greece to finish off the second game week.
I'm interested
Norway
in
with
this.
a win here. A big win for Norway could put them top, but Greece, of course, they want to start motoring up the table, don't they?
They certainly do. That's another draw. That's 2 draws in a row for Greece.
Yep, good result for Norway, I'd probably say there, actually, of the 2.
against a high-ranked team, I'd say that's a decent result for Norway when it comes to qualification. For title contention, probably not, but certainly for qualification.
Yep, absolutely.
Albania and Bosnia-Herzegovina, both teams with a win and a loss to their name. 3 goals scored, 3 goals against, a 0-goal difference each. Pretty much tied.
Yep. So far, I'd say probably of the two, Albania will be the happier, I think, of those two.
Certainly say that one. Are they happy, though? Bosnia, with a bit, well,
of course,
with a 1-0 win. But they're currently
Albania's
third.
win, of course, was against the Dud team, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're currently in third. And, well, Belarus are about to get another 3 goals.
And another 3 points. So put them clear top of the league here. But Belarus, of course, representing Montenegro.
Certainly 9 points, 9 goals, plus 9 goal difference.
That's the whitest name I've ever seen in my life. G. Ellis.
Gary
Ellis.
George Ellis.
No, Gary. I reckon he's a Gary.
Garth Ellis. No, Garth Ellis. Garth Ellis sounds too cool. It sounds a bit cooler. So we'll go with. Actually, I can't say we'll go with Gary because that's basic.
Yeah.
No. He'd be a Gareth, surely. Be a Gareth Ellis.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon it's a Gary.
A Gary.
Bulgaria and Iceland.
We're trying to do another Lenzingara. I don't think it's working very well.
It's not quite. It hasn't quite hit the same, has it?
It's no Lenzingaro.
No.
Or RJ Fernandez or Big Vinny at all. Next up is Bulgaria versus Iceland.
I'd say probably the favourites here are going to be Bulgaria, but it's not going to be an easy one.
Yeah, Bulgaria haven't let in a goal yet. Currently with a clean record. Not anymore. Iceland with the win. 4. They're up to 4th now.
What a result for Iceland that is, by the way. They move up to 4th, as you said, but crucially, Bulgaria with a defeat.
That's a big defeat for Bulgaria. That's a big win for Iceland.
Yeah, move them back into qualifying contention.
Certainly do. Finland now will take on Georgia. Georgia, not a win to their name so far. Finland, 1 win, 1 loss.
Yep, if Finland win here, it kind of puts them firmly amongst it, whereas Georgia, I think they need to start to think of a plan quick.
They certainly do. Well, that's a plan. 1-0 Georgia. They move into the top 12.
Yeah, big result for Georgia there. Moves them up into 12th. Level on points with Finland, who they just beat.
Certainly on that one. Northern Ireland now will take on Israel. A mid-table clash here.
Yeah, I'd say probably the favourites are going to be... Ooh, I don't know. Who's the favourite, do you reckon, Chris?
Well, last year they were both sort of very close around that 8th spot, so I think this could be a draw.
Could be.
Northern Ireland at a push, though. There you go.
It was a draw.
There you go.
See, it's almost like we know what we're talking about sometimes.
Yeah, just sometimes. Macedonia, 7th place at the moment versus what? Okay, well, there's Luxembourg. That's about right for Luxembourg.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great start for them, is it? But they've only lost by a goal in each game, and Macedonia could be there for the taking for them.
Let's see if that changes. Well, there you go. 2-0.
They lost by 2 this time. There you go. So
it's getting worse.
Firmly rooted to the bottom of the table and level with Armenia. Sorry, not Albania. Albania are doing all right. Yep. Norway and Republic of Ireland next. 2 of the big hitters in this, I'd say.
Yeah, and both of them currently nowhere near the top right now.
No, mid-table at the moment, certainly.
That could very well change with a win for either side here, or it could be a draw, and that could be very interesting. It's a 2-0 win for Norway. Big win for Norway.
Yeah, it pushes them into title contention, doesn't it? And Republic of Ireland have work to do if they want to retain their preliminary league title. They are down in 9th currently.
Yep, Greece, who are in 13th right now, after drawing their first 2 games, will take on the pointless Slovenia. I don't mean pointless as in they're not...
Yeah.
They're what's the point in them? I meant as in they have 0 points on the board.
Yep, they're going to want to get some points on the board, but I think Greece is going to be a big ass to beat them.
Well, they got a point. Greece, 3 draws in a row.
They're off the mark, and Greece move up the table significantly because their goal difference is currently 0.
Certainly is, but I expected more from Greece.
Long way to go yet. We're only, 3 games in, but, you know.
5th of the way through. So Albania now will take on Bulgaria. Bulgaria currently in 4th place, which is a good spot for them. Albania down in 11th now.
Yeah, and their only win, of course, coming against the dud team, so their automatic 3 points have already gone.
Certainly. 3-0 win for Bulgaria. They move up to 2nd place.
And they're motoring along now. Bulgaria and Finland are going to get their bye victory as they take on Armenia in our next fixture. So 3 points for Finland on the board.
Yep, moving them up into, I believe, what I saw there, I think it's 5th place for Finland.
See, they're not finished. They're still going.
Yeah, I think they're doing quite decently so far, Finland. Certainly are.
Who's cupping it?
Who's cup it?
Who's that guy?
He's a rare one. I know that much.
I don't think I've ever seen him before.
I think I have a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Well, no, I always pay attention for those just in case it's Vinny.
Of course.
That's why for so long I was there going, because I thought, honestly, because obviously we're playing this on an emulator now, when the first sort of couple were actually on my PS3 with the actual game disc. And yeah, Vinny just was showing up a couple of times in the on the PS1 one, but when we went to the emulator, he didn't show up for like 3 tournaments.
he was actually arrested.
I thought, oh bloody hell, have they modded it? Did they mod Vinny out the game or something? Was there like copyright issue or something?
He's back.
No, he just randomly appeared somewhere. Georgia, well, they got some points on the board, I guess.
In the last game, didn't they? They got their win against Finland in the last game week, so it'll be a tough ask to beat Belarus, who are currently unbeaten.
Yep, unbeaten, haven't let in a goal as of yet. Obviously representing Montenegro. It is another win for Georgia. They give Belarus a defeat.
They do, and it puts Belarus firmly in the sights of the teams chasing them. Iceland is not one of those yet, but a big win against Bosnia could put them on level points with the leaders.
Certainly, and same with Bosnia at the moment. They're both Bosnia and Iceland are tied. Win for Iceland. That's a big result for Iceland and Macedonia doing really well so far.
They are indeed. Iceland put themselves level on points with the leaders of the league. And can either Republic of Ireland or Israel keep pace? Of course, neither of these two, with a win here, can go top, but they can go as high as 4th for now.
Certainly could. Republic of Ireland down in 11th at the moment for the former champions, for the reigning champions. That's a better result. 1-0, they move to 6th.
Yep, just level on points with Macedonia and Norway, with those two yet to play. Israel down to 11th themselves. Luxembourg, who are still pointless at the bottom, taking on Greece, who have yet to win a game, but they've also yet to lose a game.
Certainly, 3 points in 3 for Greece. 7-0, the biggest win of the tournament now. It's Greece.
And that's going to do wonders for their goal difference as well. Look at that. So they are now almost top goal difference as well, moving themselves up to 7th place.
Big result there for Greece. Slovenia now. They're also not doing great. They've got a point so far. Macedonia have done brilliantly so far. They are currently 7 out of 9 points.
Yeah, and Macedonia win here puts them top of the league for now.
Certainly does. This is a team that finished, I believe, 9th or 10th in the preliminary league last season. And the season before that, they were a dud. This is a brilliant start for Macedonia if they can keep it going. Which they can. 2-0, they go top.
Yep, big result for Macedonia. They need to bank these points against the so-called weaker teams in this bracket in order to give themselves a chance later on. Norway take on Northern Ireland at the end of the 4th game week. Norway, with a win, can go top if they win by more than 2. Northern Ireland, a win for them would put them as high as 5th.
Certainly ahead of their current opponents, Norway. Win for Norway. 1-0, they move into 2nd place.
Yeah, and all change as...
I've just seen where Bosnia are.
Yeah, Bosnia... I don't think they're bottling it yet, because they haven't really... Oh, they've played the dud team already. So, maybe they are bottling it a little bit, but they weren't in a position to bottle it. They were kind of never really at the top, were they? So, let's see how Bosnia get on later on.
Oh, the Bosnia bottle's going to happen, isn't it? You just know it. Finland, currently in 8th place. They don't want to stay in 8th. They want to be a bit higher than that. Take on Albania, who had a really good start, but they've lost 3 on the bounce, I believe.
They did, and of course, you say they had a good start. Their win was against the dud team, so they haven't scored any points against anyone other than the duds so far.
Well, it looked like a good start. Okay, all right. Four losses in a row. Finland, with the win, move up to 5th place. Fair play to Finland.
Yeah, looking pretty good at the moment. Bulgaria are going to secure their dud team win and go on to 12 points. And top for now, as they take on Armenia.
Yep, by 2 points. But this is a much better start for Bulgaria.
Yeah, they're not having to kind of claw their way back through the field this time, like they have done previously. You know, last time around they didn't really claw their way up through the field, but they were always there or thereabouts, so they never really kind of motored on as we expected them to do, considering how good they've been in global trophies in days gone by, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they sort of went, okay, well, we're 5th place, let's just stay here. You know, instead of trying to make a rush for the title.
Exactly. They qualified, they did all they needed to do. Yeah. You know, it's nice to win the preliminary league, of course. You know, it's an extra kind of feather to your cap, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. It's not a major trophy.
Yeah, yeah, let's say it was underwhelming.
It's like winning a pre-season cup, right? It's like Spurs winning the Audi Cup. Like, you know, no one cares.
Yeah. Belarus, so they could get right back into the contention here, but they do have Iceland, who are riding high at the moment as well. Yeah,
they're on a good run, Iceland. A win here for Iceland could also put them towards the top and level on points with the leaders Bulgaria.
Certainly could. That's another win for Iceland. That's a big result.
Yeah, Belarus and Montenegro sliding down the table, down to 5th now. Iceland up to 2nd in a much better showing than they had last time.
Certainly. Bosnia-Herzegovina now take on Georgia. Georgia, who had a really bad start with 2 losses, but Georgia have clawed back with 2 wins.
Bosnia, of course, got a win against the Dud team and another win in I think they played Albania, so they've kind of played the 2 weakest teams in the competition. So this is a big moment for both of these two.
2-0 Georgia, 3 in a row for them. Are they going to do it again?
And Bosnia slide down to 10th, and they're kind of losing touch with the leading pack.
And Greece so the bottle begins.
Yeah. Greece and Israel. Greece in 9th currently. They are struggling, but they did, of course, have that huge win against Albania in the last game week. And, of course, they are still undefeated. One of 3 teams that are still undefeated. Certainly.
I wonder if those draws are gonna start biting Greece, though. Israel could certainly make that happen if they can get any sort of result from Greece, who really should be in that sort of top 4, I'd say.
I think so.
It is another win for Greece, though. 4-1, another big win for them.
Yeah, move themselves up into 5th place and into kind of touching distance of the leaders. Good goal difference as well for them. Luxembourg next, taking on the Republic of Ireland. Luxembourg, I think it's fair to say, have struggled so far. They are down in 15th place, yet to get off the mark, yet to score a goal, and they take on probably the best team in the competition.
Yep, who are currently 9th.
Yep. Make it make sense.
They're not 9th anymore. They're 4th
Well,
place.
they scored a goal,
but
at least.
Luxembourg score against the reigning preliminary league champions.
Yeah, they're off the mark at least with a goal, but they did lose 5-1.
It's not ideal. Good for them. Norway versus This is a big top of the table clash here. Essentially, winner goes top.
Yeah, a win for either team, they go top. A draw puts them 3rd and 4th. Macedonia will stay 3rd.
Win for Norway, 2-0. Norway go top.
Yeah, and kind of the cream has risen to the top. It took them a while, Norway, but they've got back into the lead of this preliminary league. Macedonia down to 5th now.
Slovenia and Northern Ireland next up. Slovenia currently 1 point to their name. Northern Ireland a little bit better. They got 5 so far.
Yeah, a win for Northern Ireland here puts them back into contention with the pack, but they need to win really, otherwise they're going to be at least 3 points behind.
Yeah, I mean, look at that points total. It's 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 9, 6.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap already emerging between the top 9 and the rest of the pack.
That's still the case. Slovenia get their first win.
That's a bad result for Northern Ireland. That could cost them qualification. They are now 4 points behind Georgia already.
Yep, it's certainly not impossible to make up that gap in the second 2/3, but that's still a gap.
They've left themselves with a bit of work to do, haven't they? They've left themselves with a bit of work to do. It's 2 clear wins to kind of catch back up to the pack. Not even just to get into the qualification zone. So,
yep.
Work to do for Northern Ireland.
Certainly, but Albania now will take on Georgia, who have won their last 3.
And I'm going to bet they're going to win the next one because Albania are terrible.
Well, there's that.
They won it! They won it! Unbelievable!
Albania beat Georgia and moved to 11th place.
That is a shocker because Albania have not got a single goal apart from those against the Dud team, but they beat Georgia. Wow.
Georgia drop to 9th. Iceland are about to go top.
Yeah, that's a great story for Iceland. They'll be very, very happy with that. They were gutted to have missed out on the global trophy last time, they don't want to make the same mistake in 2025. They want to be in the main competition. They want to be playing the big boys. There he is. It's Vinny.
Big Vinny in the preliminary. Yes, Vinny.
We love to see it.
Oh, please tell me Len's next. Come on, Len. Or the prick. Either one. One of those two. Len or the prick. Come on. We've got all the heavy hitters right now. Okay, yeah, we got Cuppet and... What was that, the bloke?
And Gary.
Gary. Yeah, but we've had the Okwombo, we've had the Faroe Islands Conspirator, we've had Vinny. Give us
the prick and give us Len.
Yeah, give us the prick and give us Len, please. Thanks, game. Right. Oh yeah, we had Jack Daniels as well, didn't we? Of course we did.
Of course.
I guess, yeah, we just need the referee, the referee 5. That's what we got him.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, big result for Iceland there. They, as I said, they missed out last time, and they're making sure that doesn't happen this year.
Yeah, they're going for the title of this preliminary league. It won't be easy because there's lots of good teams to play and beat, but so far so good.
So far so good. Bulgaria now will take on Montenegro. Montenegro down to 7th right now.
Yeah, not a great start. Well, after a great start for Montenegro, they kind of slipped by the wayside, but the points totals are so close.
Yep, Bulgaria, a much better run than they did last time around. Can they keep it going? It's a draw between the two.
I think probably Belarus and Montenegro will be happier with that than Bulgaria. Bulgaria slipped to 2nd, and that means Iceland, unless Norway win, will remain top of the league.
Very strange. Bosnia, 10th place right now. They take on Finland, who currently lie in that 8th spot.
Because Bosnia have won 1 game and also beat the dud team. Finland, 3 wins and 2 defeats to their name.
Now is the bottle happening.
They were
It's
in a position
starting.
for it to be. Maybe it is. I don't know. Finland win and move up to 4th place.
Big result there for Finland again. They were dud last time.
They were indeed. They won't want that to happen again this time around.
Yep. Israel now will take on Slovenia. Oh bloody hell! Israel are doing worse. They're doing worse than Slovenia are.
I have no idea how that's happened. Slovenia, of course, got 1 win off the mark. Israel, early doors, got a win, I think, against, I want to say it was Luxembourg. It was their only win so far.
I've been on that one. It's a 2nd win for Slovenia. They're up to 10th place.
They're
What in the world?
They're touching distance of the pack as well.
Slovenia from nowhere.
Back from the dead. I mean, speaking of the dead, Luxembourg are going to get destroyed here by Norway, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Norway to go top. 4-0. Not a massive destruction, but I believe it would be known as a thrashing.
Yeah, I think that's a heavy loss, isn't it?
Well, if you watch BBC Sports, or actually no, if you play Football Manager, because they call like a 2-0 thrashing.
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation of the game, I guess.
I think I had a 2-0 win. It was a really close match. They just went, oh yeah, the thrash 2-0. I was like, what? 2-0's not a thrashing. What are you on about? But he's safe.
2 teams in the qualification zone then. Macedonia and Republic of Ireland. Both teams will want to win here to kind of keep with the leading pack. A loss here for either of these two isn't disastrous, but it's not great.
Yeah, since we are at the end of fixture 6, yeah, it's not that bad, but you do not want to be losing ground on that leading pack there.
Especially when you consider Greece are behind everyone with a very good goal difference, and Republic of Ireland have done wonders for their own goal difference and moved up to 4th now.
Certainly for them. Greece. Can they shove Macedonia? Oh no, don't shove Macedonia into that 8th spot. No. They got Northern Ireland, who currently line 13th. Luxembourg are below the Duds.
Oh wow, Luxembourg are having a stinker.
Yes! We love seeing that! The Duds in 15th!
They've moved up a place, they've
Yes!
fought for every game, but they're still above another team.
Go on,
Who scored a goal? Luxembourg have scored a goal as well.
I know! minus 19 to minus 18. Go on, Armenia! Just give up... Essentially, if you look at it this way, Luxembourg have fought their heart out in 6 matches. Armenia have just walked to the stadium.
They never even turned up. They never turned up.
Yeah, they've just not turned to the stadium, and Armenia are higher up than Luxembourg are. Anyway, Greece and Northern Ireland. So Greece currently in 8th place. Northern Ireland in 13th right now, so it's not looking good for them. Greece, they're looking okay, but they could certainly do with... I'd say a draw would be okay, but Greece are a high-ranked team in this. They should really be winning this one.
Yeah, they should be. A win for Greece here puts them well and truly in the leading group, doesn't it?
Which is surely just going to put the pain on the European qualifiers round of 16 participant last year. No, Northern Ireland beat Greece.
That's huge for Northern Ireland. It brings them back into contention and leaves Greece still in 8th place.
Yeah, that's Macedonia survived 4 now. Georgia's there too. That gap has gone.
It has indeed. There is now, you kind of got that kind of a top group of Norway, Iceland, Bulgaria, Republic of Ireland, Finland. And then it's 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 7, 6 maybe for Bosnia if you want to include them.
Yeah,
and Albania, I guess.
And then 6 and then 4 for Israel. And of course, Armenia was 0. You know, they're in this as well.
They're still in it. They're still in it.
They're in this as well. Speaking of Albania, who currently are on 6 points, they take on the high-rising Iceland with 15.
Yeah, win here for Iceland puts them back at the top for now. Albania, of course, did get that surprise win in the last game week over Georgia.
Certainly do. It's a draw. That's a big result for Albania. They're up to 12th.
Yeah, Albania will be absolutely delighted with that. Iceland will be kicking themselves. What a chance to go top. And they've bottled it against probably the second worst team in the bracket.
Yep, and Georgia, I think this is the best result for Georgia to get the dud at this point.
Yeah, good timing for them, isn't it?
Certainly
of course,
good timing.
You're going to see a piece of history here. The old Georgian flag.
God, it looks so German.
No, it's Soviet. It looks very Soviet, in my opinion.
I just think
it was Soviet, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it was, next to Russia.
I'm just thinking sort of like that color scheme of sort of the black, white, and the very dark red.
Yeah, that's kind of, in my mind, that's quite Soviet, but maybe it's just me. But yeah, I think Georgia's flag
actually,
is very pretty.
I think I know why I think it's bloody German or whatever.
East German sort of thing.
Yeah, no, because it does remind me of the swastika, the colouring.
I suppose it got the red, the black, and the white. I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose it's kind of the similarity.
That's probably where I
guess
connect the dots. I'm not saying that the Georgians are Nazis.
They're not Nazis. No, they're generally very, very good people. From what I can tell.
Lovely country. Can't wait to see how good their football team becomes because it's on the rise. And I'm enjoying Georgia right now. They're great, and even in this tournament, they're great.
Yep, and they're in 6th place at the moment, and they're looking pretty good for qualification for now.
But we are very happy you changed your flag, because the other one did look a bit Nazi. Although I said earlier, I'm not going to say that. Oh yeah, well there you go, who cares. Finland, they're 5th place right now. Belarus still in 7th right now.
Yeah, they've kind of dropped down there. They were leading at one point, Belarus. They've kind of slipped. They've got 1 in 3. Finland will try and make that 4 now.
Yep, Finland on their meteoric rise. Stops there for the moment at least. Belarus with the win 1-0.
A good result for Belarus representing Montenegro, of course. I think Montenegro have qualified every single year for the Global Trophy, so they'll be hoping that continues.
Yep, certainly. Bosnia-Herzegovina, oh god, they're 13th. Okay, they take on Bulgaria, who currently lie in 3rd. A win does put them top, though, at least for now.
Yeah, Bulgaria will be hoping to get another result under their belt.
It is 4-0 win for Bulgaria.
Yeah, I think Bosnia are pretty much clutching at straws. They're going to have to try and turn things around, and quick.
Certainly are. Norway, 2nd place. They could take top back and keep it, in fact, for the rest of the fixture if they beat Israel, who currently lie in 14th.
Yeah, Israel, of course, their only win against the lowly Luxembourg.
2-1 Norway. Norway go back to top again.
They do, and they've kind of cemented themselves there, and they are currently the only unbeaten team left in this preliminary league.
Yep, Slovenia. They've had a great comeback so far. This is a good chance to get a 3rd in a row.
A little mini recovery for Slovenia, and a win here will put them above Macedonia on goal difference.
It'd be an amazing comeback for Slovenia. 2-0. They're in there. They are in that bubble now.
And look at Greece. They're down to 10th now.
Yeah, can that change? Macedonia's in 9th as well. That's a big clash between those two.
The neighbours.
Yep, the neighbours with the naming. Of course, the draw.
That does give a good bit of hope, though, for Slovenia, because they're now level on points with Greece and 1 behind Macedonia, only 2 behind Finland and Georgia, luck.
Yeah, speaking of that, it does also give some help for Georgia as well there.
Definitely.
After a freak loss. They're still in that top 7. Now it's a battle of the islands. Northern Ireland versus the Republic of Ireland.
Yep, Northern Ireland here will be desperate for a win to kind of keep in that kind of lower end position pack. A Republic of Ireland win puts them as high as potentially 2nd if they get a massive win.
It's a draw! Wow, what a draw for Northern Ireland there.
Yeah, Northern Ireland will be the happier of the two teams there, without doubt.
Certainly will. Norway, 3 points ahead of their next rivals in Bulgaria, who've had a good run so far, but Iceland have had a better run, I think.
Yeah, they've kind of recovered very, very well at the start. Republic of Ireland slow to get going, and they're going to find it difficult to catch up through the pack. We're about to go over halfway through as Israel take on Albania in a bottom-of-the-table clash. A win for Albania, though. Maybe there's a chance. Who knows? Israel needs to turn their fortunes around quickly, though.
Certainly puts them in contention. I mean, Israel and Albania last season, this positioning was the other way around. Albania was close to the bottom. It is a win for Israel, though. 3-0, so that's a good result for them.
Yeah, it kind of brings them back almost within touching distance. Well, this is a shame because it's going to happen. They are level on points and goal difference. That's going to change as Luxembourg are going to get their by-match victory over Armenia, which is a shame because, you know, we'd like to see the team not bottom. It's good for Luxembourg, I guess.
Yeah, certainly. I think in the history of the... Oh, yeah, I forgot about Doofus. I forgot about him.
Dick Doofus.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be Dick Doofus, isn't it? Dick Doofus.
Of course it does. Yeah, Dick Doofus.
Yeah, I think in the entire history of the Premier League, only one team has ever finished on 3 points altogether.
Is it Luxembourg?
And I think it was Montserrat.
Oh, wow.
I think a couple of years ago, it was Montserrat who won 1, which was the dud, lost 14.
Wow.
Something like that. And I don't even think they scored a goal either, so Luxembourg have beaten them.
They have. They scored a couple of goals, I think, now, Luxembourg, so good for them.
Yep. Belarus, currently... Well, they've bounced back a little bit. They're up to 5th. Macedonia down in 8th now. They're back to where they should... Back to where they normally are.
A win for Macedonia, though, will lift them above Belarus.
Certainly would. It's a big 6-pointer here, I'd say, for Macedonia.
I think so, yeah. In terms of qualification. Ooh.
That's not good for North Macedonia. But Belarus, with the win, moves them up to 3rd for now.
Yeah, keeps them in, well, safely away from that 8th spot, which is going to become a lot more prevalent as the fixtures tick by. Bosnia-Herzegovina take on Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Bosnia currently, only 6 points for them. Only 3 have been done without the dud team. Northern Ireland haven't fought the dud yet.
No, they haven't.
But they are currently on 9 points.
And so far looking all right, Northern Ireland.
Yep, they've got that dud in their back pocket, and that's what you got to worry about later on.
Absolutely.
Win for Northern Ireland. That's a big result for Northern Ireland there.
Yeah, it brings them into the pack and critically above Macedonia and Greece for now. Of course, they've still got to play Greece.
Certainly.
Republic of Ireland and Bulgaria, top of the table clash.
Yeah, Bulgaria 3 behind Norway. Republic of Ireland 5 behind Norway at the moment. Another draw. 2 draws in a row for Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, they're losing distance between themselves and the leaders, Norway. Norway will be licking their lips at the potential of a title. Greece and Finland. Now, this is a big, big clash because if Finland win, it lifts them, 3 points clear of 8th. It pushes Greece still 2 points off of 8th. This is a big moment for both of these teams. If Greece win, of course, it lifts them above Finland into that top 6.
Yeah, certainly puts a cat amongst the pigeons if Greece can get a win here. Which they do, 2-1. They move to 6th.
Yeah, big result for Greece there. They'll be happy with that one. And it pushes everyone down 1 spot, including Macedonia down to 10th now.
They could be pushed down 1 more, though. Slovenia on an amazing run so far.
Yeah, good recovery. Yeah. Really good recovery. And they could lift themselves above Finland as well with a win here.
Yep, they take on Georgia, who they had a bit of a stumble, but they've won essentially 4 in the last 5.
Yeah, they've steadied the ship, haven't they?
Oh, I don't know about that. 4-1 win for Slovenia. They moved to 7th place.
Yeah, the ship has also just got a great whack from something in the ocean. But yeah, Slovenia down to 7th. Look at that.
Look at that from Slovenia so far. Great result for them. Iceland, Norway. Now this is interesting.
Yeah, a win here for Iceland could put them top if it's a big enough goal swing. They need to win by 3. A Norwegian win puts them 5 clear at the top.
Certainly does. It's a draw between the 2.
I think Iceland will be happy with that one.
Iceland will gladly take that. They move to 3rd place. Norway, 3 ahead of Bulgaria and Iceland.
4 ahead of Belarus, 5 ahead of Republic of Ireland. They're kind of the 5 gunning for the title. If any of them can kind of get a stranglehold on their results, they'll be flying. But we're halfway through.
Yep.
And now we have Albania and Luxembourg.
Yep, over halfway through at the moment. Albania, Luxembourg next. Win for Albania. 2-1, they move to 12th place.
They do, on to 10 points for now. Israel are going to get 3 points. We're going to put them on to 10 points as well and lift them into 12th in turn. I think a long way to go for Israel. They're going to struggle to qualify here, but they're doing okay. They're kind of picking up results where they can do, but it's going to be a lot to ask to kind of break into that top 8.
Yeah, I mean, Israel, they had a decent-ish run last year in the preliminaries, but yeah, they just left it too late that time, and I'm wondering, have they done it again?
Well, they're not. I think they're within a win of 8th place, so they could absolutely do it here, couldn't they? Israel, they've absolutely got it in their locker to kind of turn it on and recover. But the problem is they're going to have to rely on other teams falling away.
Certainly, plus also you need to keep your form as well. So it's all fair and good winning one match, but then can you
Keep consistent.
Yeah, keep consistent with that to try and keep that position. And that's what teams like Iceland have been able to do, which is why they're so high up and at the moment looking quite good for qualification.
Yeah, they're 5 clear of 8th place. They'll be very happy with that. Belarus, 6 clear of qualification. Sorry, 4 clear of qualification. They can go 7 clear of qualification if they beat Northern Ireland, who are currently in 9th place.
Yep, Northern Ireland with a bit of a resurgence. That still goes. 6th place for them. 2-0, a win over Belarus.
Yeah, and it puts them within 1 point of Belarus as well. Belarus pulled back into the chasing pack, which involve, well, Macedonia as well. They take on Bosnia and Herzegovina, who have just fallen off a cliff, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got 6 points so far, and it could very well stay at 6. Yes, 2-1 Macedonia. They move back to 7th place. Greece down in 8th.
And they've got to take on a very, very strong Bulgaria. Not an easy game for Greece. They are struggling through this, aren't they?
They certainly are, Greece. I was expecting them to do a lot better than this. Oh, God, it's getting worse for Greece.
Greece in 8th place, susceptible to 2 or 3 teams behind them.
Certainly is on that. I'd say they're susceptible, yeah, to 3 teams. Georgia, Finland. What's happened to Finland?
Well, Finland have had a bit of a stinky run.
Yeah, well, it's Republic of Ireland, who now are tied with Northern Ireland, by the way. That's funny.
This is crazy.
This is a crazy one. It's Finland, Northern Ireland. Oh, sorry, it's Finland, Republic of Ireland next up.
Yeah, Republic of Ireland win puts them as high as 3rd for now.
Republic of Ireland really need it, because right now they're sort of in that...
They're in the pack.
Yeah, they're in the pack. They're in the higher section of that pack, but they're still in that pack there. 3-0 win, that's better for them. They're up to 3rd.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. And Norway can go back to the top of the league by 3 points if they can beat if they can beat Georgia, who are currently in 11th place.
Georgia could probably do with at least getting a point here.
Yeah, a point here would be massive for them, wouldn't it?
Especially against Norway. Oh, okay. 1-0 win for Norway. They stay top. And yeah, Georgia...
Norway, that was going to happen.
It opens the door for Slovenia here, doesn't it?
It does, but they've got to beat Iceland, who are in red-hot form, and an Icelandic win puts them back into 3rd place.
Certainly does. Win for Iceland, 4-2. What a result for the neutral.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, don't you? Love to see a goal bonanza like that. So all stationary down in the kind of, I'm going to call it the clusterfuck zone of like 6th to 11th, really, because it's basically what it is. Well, it's maybe 5th to 11th as well, if you want to include Belarus in that.
Yeah, it certainly is. And one of that in that group is Macedonia. They got Albania, who currently lie in 13th place.
An Albanian win, can't believe I'm saying this, actually gives them a chance here, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Macedonia, they really would like this win, because they were dud 3 years ago. They were dud 2 years ago. Last year, they missed out. Oh, it's a win for Albania! They're in there!
Believe it.
They're in with the shout. They're in the fight.
They're level on points with 8th place Greece. They're now 1 point behind Macedonia. What is going on?
Albania.
What a recovery.
A brilliant recovery for Albania. Northern Ireland, they're going to get their 3 points. That's huge. That is huge for Northern Ireland.
It is. It's going to give them a lift into kind of, not safety. Let's not get carried away. They're not safe by any stretch of the imagination, but...
Stop.
Talk to the hand, bitch.
Talk to the hand, because the face says, it's Elchi again. We just saw you.
Go away.
Go
We want to
away,
see.
mate. We haven't
wanna
got
see
a
the other
good.
guys.
We haven't got a good gag for you yet. Piss off and come back in a couple of years. You're just incredibly overly eager.
Yeah, I think so.
Just there goes,
He just wants to.
hey guys, are you gonna make a joke about me or something?
Maybe one day we'll do it when you're older, son.
Maybe we'll do it when you're older, Elchie. Okay. Oh yeah, Nick Dudley. What a player.
Of course, a Northern Ireland legend.
Northern Ireland legend Nick Dudley. If you're from Northern Ireland, please comment down below your favourite Nick Dudley match. Yeah, what's the best moment from
Top
that
10
match?
Nick Dudley moments.
Yeah, if they go, oh yeah, it was when he was playing for Manchester United and they lost to Worksop in the FA Cup final and the Champions League final in the same match. He was goalkeeper for them, even though he was only 3'2".
Belarus take on Israel.
Belarus versus Israel. Well, there you go. We got that. The legend of Nick Dudley.
There you go.
How tall was Nick Dudley? Comment down below. Legends say he was 3'2", but some people say he was 8'4".
Who knows? Could be anything.
Who knows? He was a lot taller in his early youth, to be fair. He just became Benjamin Button.
I was going to say, it was like Benjamin Button.
Yeah. See, nowadays, he still plays. He plays for Swindon Supermarine or something, I don't know. But he's literally like 4 inches tall.
Is he a mouse? He's like Jerry.
You don't want to know his side hustle. Belarus versus Israel.
Belarus probably need a win here to kind of keep up with the leading pack, don't they?
They certainly do. Israel currently in 13th place at the moment, so it's not looking great for them. But if you look at the amount of teams that are on 13 points, a win for Israel would certainly put them back into contention.
Yeah, it keeps them in the chasing pack.
A draw between the two. I don't think that's very good for either team.
I mean, it's probably worse for Belarus or Montenegro because now everyone has a chance to kind of be within a point of them behind them, don't they?
It certainly does. Right. Bosnia.
Oh, this is an absolute humdinger of a match. Look at this.
Come on. Come on.
Surely,
right? Bosnia. Thank you. Okay.
It's 1-0.
You moved nowhere.
But it's a win. It's a win.
You moved nowhere, Bosnia. Oh, God.
Well done.
This is worse than the Bosnia bottle. They just weren't anywhere.
Yeah, well done, Bosnia. You won.
Congratulations. You beat Luxembourg. Well done. Bulgaria versus Slovenia. Slovenia, who have been on a brilliant run.
I think it's going to be a difficult ask for them to beat Bulgaria, though. Bulgaria, a win here puts them top for now.
Certainly with Bulgaria, they're vying for that title. Yep, 2-1 win. So the undefeated run ends there for Slovenia. But how much damage is going to be done by the teams around them?
You know, Greece, if they win, can go very much clear of them, but obviously they still have to play their game. Norway and Finland in a neighbours clash rather than a Scandi clash. Finland need points and fast.
A colour-correcting flag match.
Yeah, there you go.
2-0 Norway. Norway move back to first. They just
And
don't
remain
want
unbeaten.
to lose to Norway.
Yeah, they're five games to go and they're still unbeaten.
Yeah, they're on a good run. They haven't scored many.
No, but they've just been they've just not conceded any. Look at that. And like 2 goals in 10 games they've conceded. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, they've been very consistent. Republic of Ireland could move up to 3rd for now. They've got Georgia, who are now in 11th place.
Yep, still on the peripheries of that top 8-7 places, if you like. Republic of Ireland, a win here puts them, well, there you go, puts them into 3rd place.
Do you know what? This is a big moment for Greece because all the teams around them have lost.
Indeed, but they've got to play. They've got to play a top team in Iceland, haven't they? That's the problem.
Certainly do. A big win for Iceland puts them 2nd, but more than likely a win for them will put them 3rd. Greece, I mean, yeah, they need this. They need this.
They have got home advantage. That could be crucial.
2-0 win for Greece. They move to 7th place.
That's big for Greece. It gives them a little bit of breathing room over the rest of the teams chasing them. And, of course, they're into 7th place now and not in 6th.
We are into the final 3rd of the preliminary league. Albania, currently in 10th, take on Northern Ireland, who have bounced right up into 5th.
Yeah, win for Northern Ireland here puts them as high, potentially with a big win, as high as 3rd.
Yep, overtaking Northern Ireland if they can win by, 8 they'll need.
Yeah, they need a lot of goals.
Yep, due to goal difference. I think they'll take a 2-1, though.
They will indeed take a 2-1. That puts them 4th in the table now.
Certainly does. Oh, this is a big for Macedonia.
Yeah, this is huge. Absolutely huge for Macedonia. They will absolutely bank this one right into their accounts, and they will be delighted to get 3 by team points. Of course, Greece still have to play the dud as well, so that's, you know, something to note. They will get 3 points at some point, Greece.
Yep,
so we'll have to see how they get on later on.
Yep, they certainly will. But this is a big result for Macedonia because that puts them on the same points as Greece.
It does.
So that
it puts them above them. I think it's them above them, doesn't it? By 1.
Possible. It's either Greece or it's the team above them because I think they're 3 points off. They're 3 points off a team.
I think it's Belarus. I think they might be level with Belarus now. I think. Hey.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it is Belarus. Well, that might not last long.
No, I mean, just press the button.
Cool.
At this point, Luxembourg, there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is this gonna be the worst performance by a European preliminary league team?
They've not got a single point on the board at the moment.
Yep.
This is
They've only scored 2 goals.
Other than the dud, yeah.
Other than the dud. Bosnia. Can they get 2 in a
Bosnia?
row?
No.
Well, they got Israel, who are just above them, barely. No.
Oh dear.
4-0.
It's now 9th now. It's now 9th.
9th for Israel. Oh, big top of the table clash.
Yeah, a win here for Bulgaria puts them top after, well, all said and done, really. But it will bunch the pack up once again. Of course, Norway, if they win, I think we can pretty much say they're going to win the league.
Yeah, I mean, Norway, I think with a win, Norway automatically qualifies.
So there you go. That's what's on the line here for Norway.
Yep. As mathematical qualification, win for Bulgaria!
Well, we will not have an undefeated team in the European segment, and Bulgaria go top.
They certainly do. Slovenia in 10th place take on Finland, who have dropped down to 12th now.
A must win for both teams. If either of them lose, it's looking pretty dicey, isn't it?
It certainly is, especially for Finland. 5 points off 7th. Slovenia 4 off 7th. Win for Slovenia, that's big.
It is massive result. Oh, this is an enormous crunch match.
Greece in 8th. Georgia have dropped to 13th.
When did that happen?
They've just been consistently losing of Georgia.
They need to stop the rot, otherwise it could be all over for Georgia. Greece with a massive opportunity to lift themselves into 7th.
Certainly would. Win for Greece, 4-0. Big result for Greece.
And a big result for the goal difference as well, which could be a factor.
Iceland and the Republic of Ireland next up.
A win for either team gives them an outside shot of the title.
Certainly does. Draw between the two.
Doesn't really help either of them in terms of silverware, I guess. Republic of Ireland have a back-to-back as they take on Albania, who have had a little bit of a recovery.
Yep, doubleheader for Republic of Ireland here. 3-1 win. That's a big result for Republic of Ireland as they try and chase the title, but Greece get their bye. They get their dud win.
And it puts them into 4th place now, Greece. That's given them a lot of teams, because it doesn't really matter if they don't, have that many points, but there are teams between themselves and 8th place now, and then that gives more pressure to them, and it keeps them away from that dud team spot. They do not want to be the dud team, and they are doing everything they can to stay away from that, and they've done a good job here. They've got it into 4th place now.
So they do. I mean, Greece have picked their spot, I think, beautifully in this.
Yeah, I think so. They've got they've got the dud team win at a very good time when they've got momentum. This is good. This is very good.
They certainly do, and they've essentially cashed in their 3 points when teams around them recently haven't done brilliantly.
No, exactly, and I think they've kind of chosen a good opportunity. This is a massive crunch match, by the way.
Certainly is. Slovenia 9th versus Belarus, down in 7th now.
Yeah, a win here for Slovenia puts them within 1 point of Belarus and crucially into 8th place for now.
Win for Belarus, 3-1. They move to 4th.
Yeah, good recovery there from Belarus representing Montenegro. That could be massive for their aspirations of qualification. Bosnia, I mean, less said the better about them taking on Norway, who want to return to winning ways.
Yep, so Norway, essentially a draw here for Norway, a draw more qualifies Norway for certain. It is 3-0 Norway, so they will qualify.
Yep, the first team officially to qualify.
Bulgaria could very well join them here. They've got Israel, who currently lie in 10th place.
They do indeed. A Bulgarian win puts them back to the top of the table and in contention for a title shot.
2-1 Israel!
Where has that come from? Israel up to 8th now.
They pushed Macedonia down, but here's the problem, though. 7th has got 21. That's where the gap is, and you haven't got long to go now.
You really don't. There's only 4 points. 4 points is manageable, but it's 3 games. That's not much wriggle room, is there? Then you need to rely on the teams above you faltering and you keeping the momentum up.
Certainly. Finland will take on Luxembourg. Well, Luxembourg are out.
Yep, they are. Yeah.
Bosnia are out.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Bosnia are out. Finland and Georgia are not out yet.
Bosnia can get the dud.
Yeah, they can get the dud. So Finland, they're not out yet, and they do need a good performance here at least to keep themselves
they need
in
to win.
contention.
It is a must. If ever there was a must-win game, this is it.
Yeah. For them, it's at least a must-draw. Well, they did get the win there. Okay, they moved to 11th place.
Yeah, and now this is a crunch match because, I mean, the loser of this game has a mountain to climb. Georgia on 12. They have slipped down the order so many games. Macedonia have kind of recovered quite well. They're in 9th place. They've been in and around the pack for a while. A win here puts them within 1 point of Iceland and Northern Ireland.
Certainly does. Win for Macedonia. Georgia
can still get the dud. They could theoretically still get 6th or 7th.
Unless this is a draw.
And then it's all over for Georgia unless they want to get the dud team.
3-1 to Northern Ireland. Iceland keeping Georgia in barely for now. But that could very well change quickly.
Would have been 4th, by the way. What a great run.
Brilliant run for Northern Ireland. Just one behind Republic of Ireland. Really good for them.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Albania in 12th. Greece in 6th so far.
Yeah, a Greek win here pretty much eliminates Albania. In fact, it does eliminate Albania.
Yep. Albania will lose if they don't at least... they will be eliminated if they don't at least draw. Oh!
Adding insult to injury there. 7-1 to Greece.
Albania are out. Republic of Ireland are about to...
qualify.
Yeah, they're about to qualify with their dud result.
I think... they can still get dud.
Yeah,
they could still get dud.
They're pretty much there.
Yeah, like it's not when but if. Well, it's not if but when.
Certainly, definitely for Republic of Ireland. Okay. Yeah, Georgia's not making it, are they?
No,
Not this time
they're
round.
done. They're done. It's a shame, but it's done.
I mean, they need every single result that can go their way to go their way. Every single result, because they're 9 off 7th with 3 games to go. They need every result to go their way. It's a theoretical impossibility, but not a mathematical impossibility.
Yeah, they need snookers. Let's say that
Certainly.
much.
Norway, who have already qualified, they will take on Belarus, who only lie 3 points above the dud spot, so...
They're in striking distance, aren't they, Belarus? They will be looking over their shoulder intently, and of course Norway, a win here almost gives them the title.
Gets them down close, doesn't it? 2-0 win for Norway. They're 4 ahead with 2 to go. They could be 3 ahead, though, if Bulgaria get their win. But first, it's Slovenia. They're close.
Bosnia. Slovenia need to win this, otherwise it is game over. Bosnia, of course, are out and finished to history, so Slovenia, it's all up to them now.
Certainly is. Slovenia, big result required. Bosnia win! It's a bit late, lads.
Yep, the party poopers have done it again, and Slovenia are now in big trouble. They can still qualify in 7th place, but it requires everything to go their way.
Certainly. Luxembourg will take on Bulgaria. Bulgaria will pretty much qualify with a win here.
I mean, they're going to win, aren't they? Let's face it.
5-0, yeah, that's about right.
Ooh,
Finland
now.
versus Israel.
big match. Again, kind of similar to Slovenia. Either team here needs to win this.
Certainly do. If one team, the loser can't finish in the top 7.
Nope, that's it.
And that is Israel. Israel will not be finishing in the top 7. Finland survive for now.
They could overhaul Iceland. There are 2 games to go, and they're 4 points behind. So they require snookers, but they could still do it.
Speaking of requiring snookers, Georgia need to win.
Georgia need to win, and probably heavily as well.
Yep. Against Northern Ireland, who currently lie in 5th place.
Big match here for Northern
Win
Ireland.
for Georgia! They got 1!
Wow. Okay.
They have got
Game
1.
on.
It could be for nothing, though, if Iceland and Macedonia draw.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think
Or
they
if
need...
Macedonia wins.
Well, or if Iceland wins, really, they need. I don't know what they need here. Pretty much game over, isn't it, for them? I think.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, Georgia can only dud.
They could get dud if Iceland win.
Yeah, they can only dud, which is a bit of a shame for them. Win for Iceland. Oh, Macedonia's in that dud spot again. No.
It's not over yet. There are still 2 games to go. It is so close.
And Slovenia get Albania in the next match. Are Albania still in?
I believe as well. Albania.
No.
So Slovenia, I think, are the final team to play the dud. By the way,
Yeah,
so that could be crucial.
Albania are out.
Yep, they are. As are Georgia.
Yep. So
But
Albania.
they can still dud.
Yep. So Albania and Georgia are out. Slovenia. I mean, they need to win.
Yep.
They need to win. They can't. They can only dud.
Yep. So Slovenia and Georgia can both only dud. Israel can, in theory, catch Belarus.
They certainly can. Draw between the 2. Slovenia. They can only dud now.
That's not enough for them. They needed more. Norway are going to secure, I believe, the title with this win. Because they get the dud result, and they are going to be 6 points clear with a maximum of 2 to go. So they need to lose their last game heavily. I'm going to say it now. Norway has won the league.
Yeah, it's
as expected.
Yeah, it's close for Norway. Bulgaria, obviously, there's still a chance for Bulgaria to win the league.
There is.
But they need to win both their last matches and for Norway to lose, which there's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, it's unlikely that's going to happen. But, stranger things have happened in the past.
Certainly has.
But it does mean that Norway are looking pretty good. And I do think we can also give a little bit of update as to who has actually qualified here. Because I think a few teams now have done as a result of the last couple of fixtures. So, Republic of Ireland and Bulgaria have certainly qualified. Greece need a point. Northern Ireland need 2. Iceland need 2. Belarus need a win. Unless Macedonia win, in which case they all need another win.
Yeah. Republic of Ireland take on Belarus first. Republic of Ireland out of contention.
Do you know, that's not good for Belarus, because they're going to be in strikers if they don't beat Republic of Ireland. And that's going to be a difficult task.
Certainly, it could be a good chance for Macedonia here. Win 4-1. It's a heavy loss for Belarus.
That's going to do a number on their goal difference. Okay, it's still better than Macedonia's, but it's not a million miles away. And it does keep teams like Israel in contention as well.
Greece will qualify completely with a win here over Bosnia.
Which seemed unlikely a while ago, but they've really turned on a good steam of form here, haven't they?
Yep, 3 draws in their first 3 matches, but they've gone on to be 7-1-2. Make that 8-1-2. Greece have fully qualified.
Good result for Greece, and that puts them into 4th place, and they can pretty much stay there, I think.
Now.
Ooh, big one.
Big
one.
for Macedonia.
They need a win.
Yeah, they can beat Bulgaria, but I'd say they need at least a point here.
I think the favourites probably are going to be Bulgaria, though, let's face it.
Bulgaria failing to win hands Norway the title as well.
Of course.
Win for Macedonia! Norway are the champions!
Wow.
Norway are the champions! Macedonia and Belarus tied! Which means Slovenia are out.
Israel need to win. Finland need to win against Northern Ireland, who are still not qualified. It's still on for this.
Certainly are on that. It could be just a battle for the dud spot right now. Could Finland put a spanner in the works? No, it's a draw. Finland are out as well. Will Israel join them? If they don't win, then we have our top 8.
But then who finishes in 8th place? That's going to be the scramble next, isn't it?
What's the order? If Israel don't win, Georgia win. There's our top 8.
There you go.
And Iceland get Luxembourg. What a result for Iceland if they... Well, surely they got to win it. Surely.
If they don't win this, I'm just going to delete my channel.
Iceland do win 4-1. Luxembourg with another point though, so fair play to them. With another goal, so fair play to them. So, final fixture: teams who have qualified: Norway, Republic of Ireland, Bulgaria,
and Greece.
Greece and Iceland. It's between Northern Ireland, Belarus, and Macedonia. Who's going to finish 6th? Who's going to finish 7th? Who's going to be the dud?
It's all on, isn't it? It is all on.
It's all on. Iceland have qualified. Yay!
Easy peasy.
Well
Who'd have
done,
thought?
Iceland. Right, Albania, Norway. Bit of a nothing match here. But I'm sure Norway would love to finish on 38 points. 7-0, yeah, okay, they do. Slovenia get the dud. Doesn't really matter.
No, it's already over for them. It was nice to have them in contention, but now it's over.
Can Macedonia avoid the dud? And avoid elimination in the preliminary league for the first time in 4 years.
Well, it'd be a shame, wouldn't it, if they did? But, you know, they leave it too late.
I mean, Macedonia, they were dud 3 years ago. They were duds 2 years ago. They failed to make it last year. Are they just going to finish 8th again?
Well, let's look at it like this. They're gonna be in the finals no matter what.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice for them to compete, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be nice for them to get that opportunity to play everyone, on an equal footing.
A proper result for them there. Greece.
Well,
No.
Belarus, representing Montenegro, of course, need 3 points to be certain.
I'd say they need at least a result against Greece.
Greece is going to be tough to beat, isn't it?
They certainly are. Greece could really put Belarus in some trouble here. Win for Greece! That opens the door for Macedonia.
It really... It doesn't even rule... Well, okay, it does rule out Slovenia. They've already played their game, but that's still,
Also with that, Northern Ireland have qualified.
They have indeed, because they cannot finish below Belarus. Wow.
Republic of Ireland will go second with at least a draw against, well, those guys.
Bosnia.
Bloody hell.
What on earth?
It's a bit late, lads.
You left it a bit late.
You didn't even finish the top 12 either.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Northern Ireland versus... Okay, Bulgaria can go second with a win.
They can indeed. And of course, this will be very happy for Northern Ireland, because that result for Belarus has meant that they're safe. That is not an easy final fixture, is it, Bulgaria?
Certainly isn't. And they would have lost anyway, so yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
This is big.
A draw.
This is big.
Is required. A draw or more for Macedonia, and they, for the first time in 4 years, will get to compete in the European qualifiers as not a dud.
At the expense of Belarus.
At the expense of Belarus, the replacement team for Montenegro, for the first time in their history, be the dud. They've done it! Macedonia have done it!
A 3-1 win pushes Belarus down to 8th place.
The replacement team is the dud.
Unbelievable. And now we've got 2-0. I mean, Georgia, Luxembourg is a nothing fixture of all nothing fixtures, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, Georgia can finish 9th. They will. Good for them.
It's a bit late for them now, isn't it?
And Iceland, well, they can't go any lower than 5th, and they can't go any higher than 5th. So they got Israel, and it's a 1-1 draw. Iceland will gladly take that.
Yeah, they've qualified. It doesn't really matter to them. They're in the top 8.
Right. 15th place with 3.
Oh, dear.
Luxembourg. One of the worst performances of any team in the preliminary league. That was
especially
dreadful.
In Europe. Especially in Europe, that is
worst
shambolic.
performance of a European team in the preliminary league. That was dreadful.
3 goals only scored outside the dud team. 41 conceded in 14 games, so averaging just under 3 a game.
That's bad.
It's not great, is it?
14th with 14, Albania.
Yeah, 3 wins outside the dud is pretty damn good going, really, when you consider that. They kind of kept it they had a little mini recovery halfway through, but then kind of just fell off.
Yeah, they were in contention for a couple of rounds, weren't they?
They were indeed, but then they that quickly faded.
13th with 15. Say it with me, everyone.
It's the Bosnia bottle.
It's the Bosnia bottle.
They lost 10 games. It's the third most amount of games lost in the preliminary league. 5 wins to their name. No draws, though.
Yep. 12th with 18. Israel.
They had a bit of a mini recovery towards the end as well, didn't they? They kind of left it a bit late, but almost got themselves back into contention.
11th with 19. They were the dud last time round. This time, they're not even there. It's Finland.
Yeah, they actually are Finnish, as it turns out.
They had such a good start.
I know, they were up there mixing it with the big boys, but they kind of just had a rotten run of form. They won 6 of their 15 games, so won about a third, but wasn't enough, was it?
And a team who had the complete opposite form. 10th with 20. Slovenia.
They were nowhere. They were dead and buried, Slovenia. And then they just shot us up through, and we thought, oh my god, they're actually going to make it, but sadly not. Having the dud team as the final fixture was a great thing for them, but wasn't enough. They kind of slipped up too many times.
Next, 9th with 21. That loss to Albania for this team is going to haunt them.
It's cost them. Yeah, it's going to cost them.
That would have got them, yeah, as a dud, but that would have got them in. It's Georgia.
Yeah, it's a shame for Georgia. We saw their exploits in the round of 16 last time, but not to be this time.
Not this time. 8th with 23. Our dud team, Montenegro, being represented by Belarus.
Absolutely fell off. They were mixing it up the top for a long time. They were leading for a good while, but in the end, it kind of fell away from them, and they fell away into the mid-pack and kind of got swallowed up by the more quality teams around them.
Yep, and what I believe is the first time in the Global Trophy history that a substitute team will be the dud for the qualifiers.
Exactly. There you go.
7th with 25. Northern Ireland. They've made it
Good
again.
Result. Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that, considering where they were at one point. It didn't look like they were going to make it, so yeah, Northern Ireland, 7th place, happy days.
6th with 26. Let's celebrate, everyone. They've done it! North Macedonia!
North Macedonia. Watch them get France.
Watch them beat France. They're going to go and win the tournament.
Obviously.
We've had weirder things happen.
It's true.
5th with 28. Welcome back, Iceland.
Yep, Iceland have returned from the dead. They were excellent in this competition as well. They put an early marker down. They were mixing it up for the title at the start. Okay, it fell off for them, but they'll be happy with 5th.
It's like they took those last sort of 5 matches form in last year's preliminary league and brought that here for the whole league.
Yep, agreed.
4th with 31. Last year's preliminary league champions, Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, a weird loss at the end to Bosnia of all teams has kind of cost them potentially 2nd place. But, you know, they've qualified. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, they qualified quite comfortably, I'd say.
Yeah.
3rd with 31, it's Greece.
Yep, good recovery. Greece started very, very slowly, didn't they? They were kind of in and around that 8th spot for a good, probably half of the league, but they kind of recovered well, and they've got 3rd place. They're delighted with that, I'm sure.
Certainly. 2nd place, much better result for them this time. With 32, Bulgaria.
Yeah, they also look like they could have potentially fought for the championship. Didn't work out in the end. They kind of slipped away from our eventual runaway winners, but, you know, Bulgaria, they'll be happy with 2nd, I think.
And the winners of the 2025 European Preliminary League with 38 points, it's Norway.
Yep, the former European champions who have kind of dropped down in the FIFA rankings to this point has kind of proven a point that they shouldn't even be here in the first place. They have won the Preliminary League quite comfortably by 6 points in the end, only conceding 3 goals, which is crazy.
Yeah, brilliant performance there for Norway. So, Belarus, Northern Ireland, Macedonia, Iceland, Republic of Ireland, Greece, Bulgaria, and Norway will join our other 24 European teams in, well, next month for the European qualifiers, where 8 teams of those 32 qualify and will fill out our first 8 teams into the Global Trophy finals.
Indeed they will. Lots of things to kind of keep an eye out for as well. Obviously, we want to see how Norway get on now that they've qualified, but, you know, I'm intrigued to see how North Macedonia do get on in their first attempt in the Global Trophy for a number of years.
Certainly, it's going to be very interesting when we get to that. But next week, folks, we do have the Asia and Oceania Preliminary League. And then we got our other 2 continental preliminary leagues, and then it's the European qualifiers. So next week will be the Asia and Oceania Preliminary League. That's going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely. Got some absolute powerhouses in there, I'm sure. Or not.
Maybe 1 or 2. Or 3, actually. We got 3, I think.
Okay, we'll see next week.
Anyway, yeah, with that, folks, I'm Masterath.
Up in Sam 64.
And we'll see you next week for the Asia Oceania Preliminary League. We'll see you then.